Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to my Day 2 update for my Frostblades Trickster League start. Currently in trade, I currently have 1 day and 53 minutes, so almost 25 hours played out of the last 48 hours. So, yeah, pretty quite a bit of playing there, a little over half of the time. And I currently have 11 deaths. So I've died 9 more times since yesterday. Um, part of that is because I didn't get Heartstopper until like I was in red maps. I didn't want to buy an offering. I didn't see one in the map, and I ended up getting one in Delve before I finally got that. The other part is the Ichors and Embers were glitched, and I could not use them to get Fortify, which I still don't have. Kind of have a placeholder. I'm going to do a quick Lair of the Hydra. Current map completion is 87. I have my first 2 Watchstones already, so I beat those. One of my deaths I took was to the Searing Exarch from the ball phase. I'm very bad at it, something I've said a lot previously. I have some Eater of Worlds stuff allocated on my tree, so I'll go ahead and fire that up. This is a monster damage, monster life, and crit setup for Lair the Hydra, so it should be at least somewhat challenging both offensively and defensively. I shut my computer down last night. And it's been a little over 48 hours it's been 48 and a half hours. Just because I wanted to make myself a meal since I've been eating like Oreos, frozen pizza, pre-cooked chicken wings in the air fryer. So I made myself a nice little pork shoulder steak with like salt, pepper, oregano, and garlic. So yeah. I need to start mapping faster. I'm going real slow here. Kind of haven't played in a couple, like an hour and a half or so. So I've been cooking and taking care of the dogs. So getting a little rusty here. But yeah, as you can see, we're according to POB, with all of my buffs up, I'm at about 8 million damage. We're about to hit the fun part, the refining stage of the build, which all like the step-by-step everything is all in my guide, which you can find on my channel. I'll put the playlist that contains both the major overarching guide from last league, as well as the new updated version. A lot of people have been having success with this. 16% of Tricksters on PoE Ninja are currently Frostblades, and it looks like a lot of them are following my build. So I'm really happy with that. Hopefully, because I gave my computer a rest, I'm just going to go ahead and save these. I've been doing these 1 floor at a time. I've made it to the 4th floor a couple of times now, and I think I'm on the verge of trivializing this content. But yeah, I'm just going to save it. I'll explain a little bit more about that because there's like a lot of easy ways to cheese, besides the fact that we usually don't take damage because we're perma-freezing everything. So there's only a couple of things that really do damage to us at all. So I think I'm going to be very soon at the stage where I complete the entire Sanctum every single time, and I'll explain how I plan on doing that. Of course, there are certain negative effects that you can get that would kind of put a damper on that, so it's not 100% foolproof, but barring very, very bad luck, I should have some methods, and also just getting good at the fights is a lot of it too. Still mapping slow here. I'm going to ignore Gwenin. I don't like Gwenin. I'm going to I think you can block them now, so I'm going to do some expedition stuff later on, and when I do, I'm going to block Gwenin. Alright, I'm going to put a portal down just in case, because I do not have cast on death portal. So yeah, we're going to put our totem, put our frost bomb, which I missed with, so I didn't even get the exposure. And then flash to the other side here to get our chilling ground. The bone chill with the chilling ground is really working out well. Okay, this time I properly aimed that. Put totem down. My war chief totem is still very low level, so unfortunately not getting a lot of damage off of it. But once we get our timeless jewel, which I should be getting this time, we should be able to level that, and steel skin, which will help a lot defensively. So oh, got a lot of shaper items. Did they improve did they improve the shaper drops from regular guardians? You used to get like 2 or 3. I have what? I got one that I picked up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shaper items. I'm going to pick up the shields because I believe shaper, I could, oh yeah, that's actually huge. I was going to do hunter because it's technically more preferable, but I can actually get my reduced mana reservation from shaper shields too, and I have 3 of them right here. One of them's on a base that I would actually want. I'd prefer a hybrid armor evasion shield, but yeah, this could do for now. So that's really big right there. So as you can see, still not like killing the, I think I was freezing. I didn't pay attention to my Trinity, but if not, and yeah, that was with, what mods did I have on there? I forgot to look. 26% more monster life as well. Nothing else huge, just monster damage and crit strike, crit multi, but you know, yep. We have a little more life now. I have over 3,300. Let's see, maybe we can just get, so we got recovery on block on this one. Hey, there's a 30% mana reservation efficiency right there, but I can't really use it. Oh, I got this cool Dawnbreaker, but I'm going to go over my regular gear. I'm probably going to craft on this golden buckler. Maybe I can sell this. I don't know how valuable that mod is on armor bases. Actually, the titanium or thorium spirit shield is not a particularly high base, but it's item level 85, so I might consider selling all 3 of those. So yeah, let's just stash all this stuff, and then I will go over my gear, my skill tree, my plans, because this is when we start really ramping up. So we're currently at 8 million damage. We're going to like double or triple that in the next day, and I'll explain how we're going to be doing that. But a lot of the gear is the same. I did pick up a southbound. The reason for this is because the claw I'm using is still the one that I bought for 14 chaos, and it still has a high amount of physical damage on it, so I wanted to keep the physical damage converted to cold. So I needed freeze duration, because otherwise I was getting minus 30% duration of ailments from this, and then the only other duration I currently had was 20 from here, so it was actually minus 10% duration. The best way to deal with that is simply southbound, but southbound is, you know, overall pretty good. It just gives, you know, percent life, flat cold damage to attacks. So this one was a decently well rolled one. I got for like 10 chaos. It was a pretty solid deal. Okay, and I have a 6 link now, but yeah, I'll go over one by one. Weapon, exactly the same. Nothing's changed except I 20 quality'd. I moved down on my loot filter until I got enough of like the smaller stuff. Like I have enough scrolls and wisdoms and transmutes to get me through for forever now again. So I quality'd that up. I still have a heat shiver. Yoke, I put Discord Artisan on it, which is 15% increased damage for each herald affecting you. We're only running 1, but also increased effective herald buffs on you. Still the exact same shield. One of these rings is, did I flip both of my rings? I might have flipped both of my rings. So yeah, I think both of these are new. So this one has some flat physical, a lot of flat cold. This is a tier 2 flat cold roll, 61 life, and then a good amount of lightning resistance overall. We have what, 32 plus 15, because I was also able to put the hybrid, so 47 lightning resist with some chaos and cold resist. So overall pretty good. We're barely over cap on, I'm not elemental weakness capped currently. I do plan on adding more resistances, but I was kind of wanting to do the balancing act. So elemental weakness maps are kind of out, but I have a little bit of a thing on that too. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. This ring has a lot of intelligence, so that's going to allow us to level up our like Frostblink. One thing I'm going to probably do is make this a 3 link and put unbound ailments on it, but I'm going to wait until, because the mana cost is 26 and I still haven't gotten Elrion craft. So I'm going to wait until we get some minus mana cost going on in order to do that, and that'll replace the flat cold damage on this ring. But yeah, got its Zeri's Step, put a lab enchant on it, just flat cold damage if you haven't killed recently. It's not bad. It's, you know, probably the third or fourth best boot enchant you can get. The best would be penetration if you haven't killed recently for bossing, obviously. And then the attack and cast speed if you have killed recently would be the next best one. This one's probably like the third best. It just gives a lot of damage. New belt. I bought the base for 7 Chaos, which was a level 86 Stygian Vice base, and I put it in Harvest and recrafted Chaos because I needed some more Chaos resist. I'm currently at -7. I also, the only Divine Vessel, I've only gotten 2 Divine Vessels. I did this one for the Burning Ground because I wanted it for Searing Exarch. It's just helpful for when we were doing like Searing Exarch mobs. And the next one I want to do is the 40 Chaos Resist against damage over time. I'm not entirely sure. I have, let's see, Armala. So that is Sunken City, which I don't have yet, but I can actually get it with Horizon Orbs. I have 15 Horizon Orbs, so my chances are pretty good. So I'll probably do that right after this video. But yeah, I got some more Chaos Resist, and then I also happened to hit elemental damage with attacks, and a little bit of life, and strength was the other important thing. So I wanted Chaos Resist and strength the most, and then you know, I have other rings to balance out my resistances if I didn't get the fire resist on it, so that was fine. So overall, this is like pretty good belt for now. I'll be updating that later though once I get more of my resistances worked out. As far as the Abyssal Jewel I have in it, it's literally just 34 life and 13 to 25 cold damage because the other one is cold damage with axe attacks, which I don't have, so not great. It's an item level 83 Murderous Eye Jewel, so I might just recraft onto this or just, you know, get another one set up. And then, yeah, the Southbound. So that covers all the gear, except now we have another slot. I showed this off in a post last night. This is a relic that I got that has fire damage and fire damage over time multiplier. And I was basically saying Ignite builds and Righteous Fire builds, probably really jealous of me. Our build doesn't make that much use. We do half of our damage is fire, so it scales off that. And we technically Ignite because we're always critting doing fire damage, but since this is our only scaling thing, and that's actually the other thing I wanted to mention. It's actually bad that we do Ignite. It's unavoidable. There's no way to stop it. But when you have Southbound equipped, your hits can only kill frozen enemies. This is normally good because we want to shatter enemies because leaving corpses behind means that corpse explosions can happen, such as ones from Strongbox or the ones in Delve. However, if we're igniting, Ignite's not a hit. So we're leaving things at 1 health, probably like 20 to 30% of the time when we have like our power charges and stuff up. We have like a 70 to 80% chance to crit right now. I haven't checked in a while, but that seems right with like the Diamond Flask and all that. That means some of this stuff is not being crit, which means it's not being shattered, which means the Ignite is going to kill it, leaving behind a corpse, and then corpse explosions can happen. So that's actually making things a little bit more dangerous, but I have to use the Southbound for the freeze duration right now, and it's just overall good. I haven't died to, you know, a box explosion, and it's still only like 20 to 30% of the corpses get left behind that way. Sometimes not even because we're attacking so fast. So it's not that big of a deal, but just keep in mind that that is something that can happen. So you still might want to stay away from strong boxes when you see it detonates nearby corpses, because with this setup, we can still get hit until we get rid of the Southbound, basically. All right. So that is everything there. As far as the Sanctum itself, I'll cover that at the end again. I'll try to timestamp everything again if I remember. Sometimes I do forget because I'm kind of in a rush to get things up. So respect the skill tree. We were not crit last time. Since I have a 6th link, I currently have Frostblades, which I downgraded to level 19, trying to get to level 21. It's no longer a high priority since we don't get damage from it, and the projectile speed is not hugely important. I thought it might be, and I was even thinking about grabbing ballistics to get some projectile speed. But the only thing that it affects us in at all is possibly Legion clearing, and I still most of the time break out the entire Legion because I have the Legion, the protracted battle. So I'm still breaking out the full Legion a huge majority of the time, probably like 90% of the time. So the projectile speed isn't that big of a deal. It'll just help with clear a little bit. Eventually we'll get a 2120, or we'll get a 2120 divergent, which will give us extra freeze duration. That's also on my bucket list because that's actually way more important, and might push us to be able to do Ubers. So that's something to keep in mind there. And then I flipped the rest of my jewels, except Trinity, which I put in late, so I haven't even gotten that to level 20, but I flipped Multi-Strike, I flipped Ice Bite, and I flipped Nightblade. I made a big mistake. I'm going to tell you this so you don't do it yourself. Just as I was getting into red maps, like an hour or two after the last video, the thing that I did was I flipped all of my gems, including Ice Bite and Herald of Ice, wherever that is, and then I went right into red maps. The damage loss was very palpable, and I was also still on a 5 link at that point, so it was even more noticeable. I should have kept some white and yellow maps that I hadn't completed kind of in reserve, and went back and did like I had one white map that I couldn't complete, which is Sepulcher, and it's because I was getting like a terrain bug every time. I don't know if it's even in here. Maybe I did go back and complete that eventually, but it was bugged at the time I was doing my yellow maps, and basically would crash my game every time I went into the portal. There have been a couple of bugs like that during the campaign. I forgot to mention, when I was leading up to the Act 9 boss, and I was going into the Rotting Core. It also had that same thing, but I was able to control click and get another instance and get past it. Unfortunately, you can't do that with map portals, so I was unable to run Sepulcher during the early parts, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, make sure when you flip your gems to go ahead and have some low level maps to run, or like start getting your delve going during that time if you're because it's good when you're first delving to run some sulfite veins in lower levels, so you can start leveling up your stuff early on, and get your gem levels that way. I'm currently leveling up a few more Frostblades. I have a level 20 inspiration that I forgot about. Okay. In fact, I might even switch that in for elemental damage with attacks, even though we'll lose a decent amount of damage by doing that. Oops, hang on, let me switch back over here. So I have 27 mana cost right now, and it goes down to 17, and I am noticing a little bit of trouble sometimes, like when I'm mid-attack. I used to be able to just hold down Frostblades and then Frostblink over the top. I can solve this, I guess, in two ways. I could link up Frostblink with... so I could 4-link this and put Life Tap as well as Unbound Ailments on Frostblink, so that's one, I guess, other solution I could do. Because for regular attacking, at my current mana, I have 43 unreserved. Even at 27 mana, my leech rate is high enough to where it's not an issue. It's just sometimes I can't Frostblink over things to apply the Chilled Ground while I'm holding the attack. So that's the only downside there. But yeah, going through, I also have, as you can see, I'm running Grace now. And that's because I am running a couple of mana reservation efficiency. I have a 3% one here with 4% attack speed with one-handed melees, and 9% crit global crit multi. I crafted this one with ROG, and then I have another one that I bought for 10 chaos, and this one's interesting, not because it's giving anything more than what I have before as far as like the damage or anything, but because of the reduced effective curses on you. So you can now roll reduced effective curses and like chance to avoid shock on jewels. So I'm gonna pull up my path or my PoE trade here, and I currently have a setup. So keep in mind the end game version of this build runs 4 rare jewels and 1 Watcher's Eye. Obviously, later on you can switch that with Forbidden Flesh and Stone. Or whatever to get like one of the assassin ascendancies or something, or possibly even demolitions expert from Saboteur, which is also very good with this build. But for now, we'll be running 4 rare jewels for quite a while. The thing is, that means we can now get 4 jewels with 3% reservation efficiency. That's 12%. Once we also get our reservation efficiency shield, that means we can easily, very easily, run Defiance Banner and probably still have enough mana left over to not have to run minus mana cost jewelry, especially if we put some of our utility stuff on life tap. So this opens up a lot of possibilities. This is the search I have. I'm trying to specifically not go for melee specific mods. So I'll go for like claw, elemental, and cold specific, but not melee, because I want the projectile damage to be the same. And that's because I'm looking for the new ring that allows your projectiles to return to you. I want the projectiles to do just as much damage as the melee component, because if I can get that, I want to test it with Frostblade, see if it requires any special positioning, but potentially that could multiply our DPS by 8. And considering we're looking at like but with a pretty attainable less than 100 divine build, we're looking at easily 40 to 50 million DPS. Multiplying that by 8 would be considerable and allow us to basically instantly kill Ubers. So provided we can freeze them. But if we get like a Fortify on hit relic, we can also run Expedition's End, which would guarantee that we're freezing Ubers. So but yeah, I have that set up, and as you can see, if you set this up and look for just 2 modifiers, there's a lot of them up there. Some of them are obviously better than others, so you have to go through, but like something like this with 15 multi for attack speed reservation, and you can even exalt slam another suffix, and there's like 3 crit multi suffixes you could hit for Frostblades. Another benefit of Frostblades is it has so many crit multi that can roll on jewels, making it very easy to get very good jewels. And it also just has a bunch of extra attack speed and regular damage ones, being a one-handed shield, elemental, cold, melee build. So overall, just it has a lot of different gem things on it that allows you to get a lot of multi. So yeah, you could get like chaos resist with 18 crit multi and 3 attack speed. So something like this, 10 chaos. These are all very affordable, and there's a lot of them, like 16, and even like on the expensive end. The only reason this one's so expensive is because it has a fractured mana reservation efficiency of skills, which is actually really crazy. This one's 50 chaos and has corrupted blood immunity. Do I have 50 chaos? I might just see if I can buy that right now. I have 60 chaos. I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up live so nobody else can get it after I put the video out. So, yeah, let's see if this guy will... Oh, man, that's crazy. Boy, now I'll be able to roll, like, shock immunity or something on my life flask. So this is actually huge. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm sniping this absolutely nutty reservation efficiency, double damage, corrupted blood immunity for 50 chaos. You know, if I can ever load into this guy's hideout. My load times have been really slow. I think I'm just playing a lot and my computer's old. Boy, this is, hopefully it doesn't crash me trying to get to this guy's hideout. It's probably taking so long because I have everything else. I don't know if I'm going to bother cutting this out or not. There you go. We're here. That was the craziest long load time I've ever seen in my life. Oh. He probably tried to send a trade request in. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. That's actually nutty. Okay, so I'm gonna slap that on. I'm gonna pick up another jewel slot anyway, and I'll kind of explain how I'm doing that. Which one of these is worse? I think this one's worse because it doesn't have the curse removed. But we're gonna get this other one set up here soon anyway, so I'll just toss that here. So yeah, next plans, if you followed my guide as far as refinement, we're gonna do two things. First of all, we're gonna do a little bit of Eldritch Altar farming so that we can get our Fortify on hit on our body armor. We're also going to be doing Legion. Currently, I have a whopping 42% chance for a Legion to spawn on my map just naturally, and then a 1% chance for Timeless Splinters to drop as emblems. And then I'm going to get all of the Legion stuff. So I have most of the Legion stuff currently. Wait. Oh, there's Legion stuff down here too. Oh, I didn't even notice that. So I already have 42% chance, 52, 56, 60. You can get 64% chance to get a Legion. I'll be picking that up as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my farm up my historic jewel, and then after that, I'm also gonna do my map completion. I'm gonna get Vivid Memories. They nerfed synthesis maps quite a lot, but at least, you know, we can still get a decent chance for a synthesis map drop. Monsters no longer drop synthesized items, which is a big nerf from the nodes that were on there. But technically, you can get here with only 4 points. So I guess it's more efficient if you're just trying to get the Circle of Fear. So yeah. The Historic Jewel will give us a lot of strength, which will allow us to level up Ancestral Warchief and Steel Skin, which will increase our defenses and offensive considerably. Our next mitigation layer is going to be Fortify on hit. Once we have that, that basically all we'll need is Fizz taken as Elemental there. We're going to get more reservation efficiency on the shield and then try to aim for like block and spell suppression on there as well. Those are all suffixes, so that's a pretty lofty goal, but that is the goal. And then ideally like high life, armor, and evasion all on there as well. And then if we can get spell suppress on here, and a higher spell suppress number on here, because this is only an eye level 80 item that I picked up. It was the most expensive item. It was actually 1.2 divines to get this. My second most expensive item was the yoke, which was 50 chaos when I picked it up. It's like 10 or 12 chaos now, but yeah. And this will go down in price. Like my whole character cost maybe before I got that jewel cost about 2 divines. And if you bought it now, it would already be like 1.2 or 1.3 divines. And if you're seeing this a few days into the future, it'll be even cheaper to get to the point where I'm at now, which is good enough to farm guardians, good enough to get your first couple watchstones. But yeah, we're going to be doing Legion, get our historic jewel, get our Circle of Fear. I could technically just buy these, but I do like to farm things myself personally, so I'll probably be doing that. And then we'll be, you know, farming up some harvest just naturally, I guess. I could have went through here and not got the harvest stuff, but I don't mind picking up a little harvest. We'll be specking out of all this stuff. I still have 2 betrayal crafts to get, and I haven't been getting a lot of June missions. I've been running most of them. I should probably run these remaining 2. I don't believe I have Gravicious or Elrion on my map yet. So I have to get options to send people away. It's possible one of these 3 would be Gravicious or Elrion, but yeah, I've only done 1 safe house. So I'm gonna get the mastermind experience from this Varici. So I haven't done a ton of betrayal yet. But I'll try to power through that. And if I need to, I'll spec into that. Clean up the maps. Once we have the Historic Jewel and the Circle of Guilt, I'll have to balance out my resistances to make up for the Circle of Guilt. Although this one doesn't, I'll actually gain cold resist, a good amount of it here. So I guess I'll only have to make up a large amount of fire resist, and I can drop all cold resist that I have on any gear basically to make up for that. So that'll be pretty nice, although I don't have a ton of it, just the all resist here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of mess around with things there. And yeah, just the same as the guide. Watcher's Eye is after that. I'll be farming Elder to try to get a Watcher's Eye, using the remnants of the past and everything. If I fail to get one after like 10 or 15 Elders, I might just buy a good Watcher's Eye with flat cold damage with Hatred. And yeah, that's the setup. So we're about to hit the big ramping stage. I would also like to get a Frostblade's Damage Heat Shiver, whether that means buying one. I imagine last league it was 2 Divines and Frostblades wasn't even remotely meta then. So and that was pretty far into the league, so I can't imagine how much one would cost now. I haven't even checked for one. I should probably do that, but I just spent a lot of currency on that Corrupted Blood Immunity Jewel. Oh, I have my flasks automated now as well, and I have a diamond flask since I'm crit. I'm currently using a Quicksilver and Jade, which neither of which will be in the final build. Jade might, but I might instead run Granite and then the percent max, or the more evasion one. I forget which one that is, but yeah, these two will probably be replaced, but for right now, they're quite good. With this up and with elusive and with everything else, I have like 100 and something. I forgot, but our movement speed's really, really fast. I think I also have some movement speed on here. So we're getting movement speed from the Silver Flask, from our boots, from this, and then, yeah, it's just a ton, and from elusive as well. So yeah, it's like 120 move speed or something like that. We're very fast even when we're not Whirling Blades. And with our Frenzies up, we Whirling Blades quick because we have those qualityed up. So yeah, that's, oh, yeah, last thing, I guess. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about this. This is important. Boy, this is going to be a longer video. I apologize, but hopefully I'll timestamp it. So I found this specific kind of relic, and as you can see, the way that I've been kind of cheesing is you can use Inspiration, which is basically energy shield from your resolve, and there's a bunch of if you can use this instead of your resolve, there's a lot of ways to regenerate it through like boons and stuff. Like you can get 250 or like 200 or 250 when you go to a new floor. There's one that just gives you 200 flat, and this stacks and persists through all the floors. Now the nice thing is you can get a relic like this. This is only a tier 4 roll, by the way, and it's 45 inspiration at the start of each floor. If you stacked like even this lower roll, like I don't know what it'll go up to at tier 1, like maybe 80 or 100. If it goes up to like 100 at tier 1 and you can get 3 of them, you basically double your resolve all the time. And then what you do is you take the packs that reduce your maximum resolve, because you don't really need resolve anymore. You get enough inspiration, it's basically like a second health bar. You start trading your resolve for really OP stuff. So, oh, and another thing to mention, it does seem that at a certain level of damage, you can just trivialize the Sanctum too. Like when right now, I have at my like roughly 8 million DPS. I just did the second story bosses, and I have the boon that gives me 50% more damage. So I'm doing like 12 million damage there, and I was able to permafreeze and take no damage from the second floor bosses at all. I just kept them froze the entire time. They might have moved out of freeze like a couple of times here and there, but they didn't hit me at all. So you can get to the point where you trivialize the floor bosses, which are really the only things that do any damage, except occasionally like traps if I'm careless. So that with the freeze and the stacking inspiration, I think you should be able to just completely trivialize and fully clear outside of like potentially getting really bad combinations of downsides. I think you should be able to fully clear every Sanctum you run. So just an interesting thought for you if you want to try to look for these. I didn't get this as a drop. I bought it from the merchant. So merchants, look out for merchants when you have a bunch of coins. You can buy relics, and some of them can be very, very good. So this is something to look for. Just I wanted to throw in that tip because I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to beat the run I'm currently on, and I'm pretty sure once I get the proper setup, I'll be able to just completely trivialize all of it. Save up 8 runs, do a floor in like probably 10-15 minutes, and you know, probably not even that, honestly. It'd probably take me like 7 or 8 minutes to do a whole floor, because sometimes like the find the exit ones take in between 3 and like 8 seconds depending on the layout, with whirling blades and frostblink, because there's shortcuts in most of them. And then like the only one that takes any amount of time at all is the one with like the beam in the middle where you have to kill all the guards. But even those, I'm getting to the point in damage where I kill them so fast that even those only take like a minute to do. And the kill the guards one, it's usually just like 2 to 4 guards, takes like maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds at this level of damage. So yeah, it should get to the point where I can clear like the entire Sanctum in maybe like 20 minutes tops, counting like banking up the floors and everything, and just be able to get huge amounts of rewards, trivializing it. Unless I get really bad luck. So that's my plan. I'm going to try to do all of this stuff that I'm planning. I'm probably going to play a little less. I've been playing 13 hours a day for the last 2 days. Probably going to play a little less so I can take care of my health. My back and wrist are starting to get sore, and I only ate this one proper meal in the last 48 hours. So I'm probably going to eat a little better, spend some more time with the dogs, maybe, just stretch a lot more. So I might only play like 8 or 10 hours in the next 24 hours, but I'm still going to try to get all of my gearing up stuff done, and we'll see where I'm at. Maybe I'll have all 4 of my Watchstones tomorrow. I might save up like the Feared or Maven to showcase. But yeah, this has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming. I'm really enjoying this character and this league. I hope you're having a great league start as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.